Welcome back, Truth and Love Nation, to our Let's Talk About It segment, where y'all know what we do. We talk about it. We sit and talk about the message that was delivered today by our pastor and our leader, Pastor Cobie. And today I'm accompanied by Mrs. Mimi. How you doing today?
Hey, y'all. I'm good. How you doing, D'Angelo?
I'm good. Thank you for joining me today
No problem.
for our Let's Talk About It segment. And today, Pastor's message was, please excuse my language. And one of the stories that he told us today was about when God commanded Moses to do something. And even in those times, people gave God excuses. And Moses gave God 5 different excuses on why he couldn't or why he didn't want to do something. What does that tell you about us and our relationship with God when he wants us to make a move?
I feel like in our relationship with God and our relationships, period, just in life in general as being human beings and whatnot, we consistently make excuses. And see, I think his name is Jonathan McReynolds. He says that you make time for what you want to make time for. You make moves when you want to make moves. But we have to realize as Christians that we need to move all that over. And we need to make sure that we are able to hear frequently and hear fluently from God, and that when he tells us to do something, when he move, we move, and it's just like that. I don't know. We make a lot of excuses. We make excuses for everything, but that's just the human nature. But it's not like it's okay. That's not okay. So we have to have that clear ear to hear from God, and when God tells us to do something, know that God got us because God had Moses. So in the session today where Pastor was talking, he said that Moses gave him them 5 excuses, and he kept coming with an excuse. Well, I'm inadequate. Well, I can't do it. I'm incapable. I can't do it. I can't send somebody else, God, whatever, everything that Moses kept throwing at God. God said, no, I said you. And so when we realize that when God say it's you, when we start making those excuses, then the life is much better for us. So.
I think we're about to have another service, y'all. She's going to be preaching. So let me ask you this about, what does that say to you about our journey in life, right? When we want to jump out there and do something, it's not going to be perfect. And even when God tells you to do something, it's not going to be peaches and cream. It's not going to be a cakewalk. What does that tell you about listening to the voice of God when he tells us to do something?
That we in our own way. That every time we don't move or every time we don't listen when God tells us to listen, that we're in our own way. Meaning that what we do is we stop in our own blessings. We stop in our own enlargement of our own territory. We stopping at ourselves because we ain't listening. We want to be hard-headed. We want to be stubborn. We want to do what we want to do because it's our life and we'll do what we want to know. So you got to do what God wants you to do and understand that once you stop putting yourself in the way and making it complicated for yourself, that God will situate the situation. So you just got to move. And let God do it. Let God. He said he'll move mountains. God says you have not because you ask not. He said if you ask, then you shall receive. But you can't ask and then expect to receive if you don't want to move.
Shut up.
Stop it. I'm done playing with you. Are we done? I'm done playing with you today. I'm not playing with you.
So with that being said, right, Moses gives these excuses. God still tells him to go, right? He doesn't say, hey, I'm going to make it easy. But at minimum, he says, listen, I'm going to make sure that they listen to you. I'm going to make sure this happens. And yet Moses still has excuses. What is it about our human nature that even after confirmation from God, we still trying to fight what it is we're supposed to do?
It's because I believe truly that it's when we don't have that open relationship with God, when we haven't been in our closet, when we haven't had that prayer life with God, when we haven't submitted ourselves completely to God, then that's when we start the doubt. That's when we start the withdrawals. That's when we start to think that we know better or that somebody else knows better, because Satan already knows when to get in them little cubbies. You know what I'm saying? So he gets into those little cubbies in our lives, and then that's when the enemy starts to say, you know what? No, he didn't say that. Girl, come on over here and do this. So then our will switches, it shifts or whatever. So we shift away from God and we're not shifting to God like we're supposed to. So that's just like you said, it's human nature, but that's when we got to make sure that we are aligning ourselves and staying in alignment with God and his will and his way, so that we can only hear from the Father and not nobody else.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So you spoke to being in that prayer closet. So before you go, give some advice to someone who's struggling with something. They feel it's their calling. They know it's something that they're supposed to be doing. They feel it here, but yet the thing that they want to do, they keep seeing the obstacles. Even though they know it's God, they keep seeing the obstacles in their way. But they need to go ahead and make that move. What do you say to those people?
I tell them that they need a diet. And when I say the diet is, you need to make sure that you detox yourself. Detox yourself from the things of the world. Detox yourself from some people in your phone. Detox yourself from some situations that you know that you can't control. Detox yourself from all of that. And once you detox and you get that cleansing going down in your system and getting that cleansing in your body and in your soul, then you still have to stay on your knees. You can't give up. You got to stay in the prayer closet. You got to say, God, I'm not going to move unless you bless me. God, I'm not going to move unless you tell me to move. God, I hear you. I want to hear only from you. And you got to stay there. So when I say detox, you got to fast and pray. I said fast and pray. So you can't just say, oh yeah, I want God to do it. He gonna do it. And God, if you don't do it by this time, Pastor alluded to that and also in his message that, God, if you don't do it by this time, no, there ain't no stipulations on God. He got it. He got all by himself. You ain't let nobody down but yourself. So I just recommend to everyone that if you want God to truly make a move in your life, then you need to detox yourself from the situations that you can't control, which we know that God is in control of everything. We ain't in control of nothing. God is in control of everything. So detox yourself. Detox yourself from situations. Detox yourself from that phone. Detox yourself from Maury. Detox yourself from whatever soap operas you're watching. Detox yourself from Captain D's. Detox yourself from McDonald's, Burger King's, Ruth Chris, wherever it is that you choose. Detox yourself for just a moment. Push the plate away. Get in that prayer closet. Get your word going and say, God, I need to hear from you because I want you to move in my life. I want you to move on my behalf. I want you to move in a situation. And then you have to stop yourself and allow God to do it. Allow God to do it. Detox yourself. That's just my recommendation.
Oh, well, thank you, Miss Mimi, for another word. We greatly appreciate it. And TIL Nation, once again, we appreciate you guys for tuning in. Hopefully you guys got something out of the message today. Hopefully Miss Mimi also helped inspire anybody that's maybe on the fence about making that move and stepping out on faith. And listen, TIL Nation, y'all know, like always, we'll be back next week. Here comes the church.
Come to church.